Hello, and welcome to Fast Fact Friday. This is Michelle. I am with Revolutionary Resume, and I'm happy to have you here on this very toasty Friday. I come to you live every Friday with some job market updates and some tips and tricks for your career or for your job hunt. So today, I would like to start by covering grants. The federal government, Department of Labor, announces the availability of $30 million in grants for states to train American workers for what's currently in demand, as well as emerging industries. It looks like they're focusing a lot on traditional manufacturing and production roles that are mid-level and up. But there's likely to be a lot more ebb and flow in that for different states and as this program is rolled out. But I thought that was encouraging news, so I wanted to share that. At USPS, we have had 10,000 workers accept the early retirement offer. This has been something that different articles have been written, and I've covered it before, about saying that employers who focus on engagement and workplace satisfaction and really listen to their associates are going to be the ones that survive this really wild market we've had since 2020. So one of the articles that came out today is Employee Engagement and Happiness Crisis. What should we do? I'd love to see in the comments what you think employers can do. Obviously, better wages, better hours, work-life balance. Is there something specific you found that works or that you think would work that you'd like to propose in the comments? Because I'd love to hear what you have to say. And this whole article was just fascinating, and I will post a link to that in the comments after. But I really encourage any small business owners and large business managers and CEOs to start looking into employee engagement and really dissecting that. Having a pizza party every Friday isn't what I mean by employee engagement. So make sure you're really retaining that help. It will save your company in the long run and probably your sanity. Just saying. All right, so let's talk about next. There was a job seeker platform that did a survey and went across many states and used very many factors with a easy to get a job in a timely manner type thing, and who's hiring and the volume they're hiring at. And the top 10 states to find a job are Hawaii, South Dakota, Texas, Montana, Vermont, Florida, Indiana, so right next door to me, Tennessee, Nebraska, and Utah. The states that ranked the lowest were not Ohio. So that's nice that it's sad that we aren't at the top of the pack, but at least we're not at the bottom of the pack either. But it's some encouraging news that, some places are looking good. Layoffs. There is new data. Oh, goodness. Sorry about that. Reveals 140% layoff spike in July. But let me tell you, and I've mentioned this before, it depends on where, everything's politicized, right? It depends on where you get your news, what it says. Let me pull up a second layoff. Oh, goodness. What is going on? Is it not going to move? It's not. There we go. Look at these two headlines. One is from Fortune. Stunning new data reveals 140% layoffs. Spike in July with almost half connected to AI. Oh my gosh, AI is going to take all our jobs. Yes, it's going to mean a change in the marketplace, just like the Industrial Revolution did. Of course it is. And yes, it's going to be harder to get entry-level jobs. It's not replacing, 140% of jobs, if you want to look at it just straight numbers. So, MarketWatch says still no sign of rising layoffs and jobless claims. That could be a couple of different things, right? A lot of people could be opening their own business, doing a bunch of side gigs and contract work, so they're not filing for unemployment. But this really paints two entirely different pictures. One is a thriving, robust, alternative, gig economy that's real, again, really robust. The other one is like, oh my gosh, doom and gloom, we're all going to die or be unalived. Sorry, Facebook. So it's difficult to get a job. It is more difficult than any point in my entire career, and I am not a young grasshopper. But it is not doom and gloom. You just have to be prepared. So that leads me to, what is our tip for today? In the last few weeks, we covered making sure your social media is cleaned up / lockdown / gone while you are hunting. And that might mean a long time off of social media. Make sure to get everybody's contact information before you shut everything down. Last week we covered dressing right for the job you want and for the interview you're going for, with a funny aside about well, probably wasn't funny for my poor client when she showed up to an interview and the CFO decided that he didn't need his shirt. So dress for the job you're interviewing for. Come prepared. Look professional. Honestly, if you're clean and you don't smell bad, you're usually going to be okay. You shouldn't have torn and ripped clothes, but outside of that, you're probably all right. So what are we going to talk about today? I've talked also about in the last several weeks about quantifying all your, especially your technical skills. What I'm going to talk about today is your projects, your achievements. If you do something that's really phenomenal at a job, what you need to do is you need to document that just in a little, Word or Google Doc that you're, running doc, like, hey, I did this thing, X, Y, and Z. One of the things when I'm talking to my clients is I try to get a feel for them, right? Because I want to write in their voice, so to speak. And then I want to know what it is that they did at that job that would make them a great candidate for the roles they're going forward for. And that is the hardest question. Like, did you create a whole new SOP that was adopted and still in use today? Did you revamp this particular process, saving $200,000 that year? What did you do that really showcases and highlights the fact that you would be the phenomenal candidate for this role? Tons of people don't track any of that, and it makes it very hard to go back and try and remember when somebody's putting you on the spot and saying, what did you do there that, was of note? And I like to be able to highlight those in resumes. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. Does it take it to the next level? I firmly believe that it does. So what did you do? So sleep on it tonight. Start a little notebook or a little doc and start jotting down some of the things you've done from the roles that you're still keeping on your resume. What I mean by still keeping, like the older ones that have fallen off, don't worry about those. But you want to put your best foot forward. So you're going to show up with your resume in hand, with your questions, and you're going to be able to speak to those notable achievements. And next week we're going to talk about how you speak to those notable achievements. Remember, as always, I'm here for questions. My inbox is open. I want you to make sure to stay hydrated out there, drink your water, and take care of yourself and each other. And I will see you next Friday at 11:45. Peace out.